My father-in-law handed me an envelope the morning after my mother-in-law's birthday dinner. Inside was a one-way plane ticket and a check for $18 million. My husband sat across from me at the breakfast table and didn't say a word. We were in their estate in Connecticut. High ceilings, white walls, the kind of house that looks beautiful in photos but always felt cold. My sister-in-law was there too, arms crossed, leaning against the kitchen counter like she'd been waiting for this moment for years. "We think it's time," my mother-in-law said, pouring herself coffee like she was discussing a renovation project. "You two have grown apart. This is the cleanest solution." I looked at my husband. He was staring at his hands. "Did you know about this?" I asked him. He didn't answer right away. That was my answer. I had been married to Daniel for 9 years. We met in graduate school. I gave up a position in Singapore to move back to the States for him. I helped build his consulting firm from a spare bedroom in our first apartment. I kept the books, managed the clients, handled the operations while he took the meetings. For 9 years, I was the engine, he was the face. But somewhere in the last 2 years, things shifted. He started traveling more. He stopped asking about my day. Once I found a hotel receipt in his jacket pocket. When I asked, he said it was a client dinner that ran late. I believed him, or maybe I just didn't want to not believe him. Now his mother was sliding an envelope across a marble countertop, like I was a contractor being let go. "The amount is generous," she said. "We want you to be comfortable." I opened the check. $18 million. "And the firm?" I asked. "Daniel will buy out your share. It's included in the total." My share. The company I had helped build, the one where I still handled 2 major client accounts, the one with my name on the original LLC filing. My share, wrapped into a number and handed to me before breakfast. I picked up the envelope. I picked up the check. I said I needed time to think. His sister uncrossed her arms. "We'd appreciate a decision by end of week." I nodded and walked upstairs. I sat on the edge of the bed in the guest room, not our room. They had quietly moved my things in here 3 months ago during a renovation. I hadn't said anything then either. I didn't cry. I just sat very still and thought clearly for the first time in months. I called my college roommate, Maya. She was a forensic accountant in Chicago. I told her everything. "Don't sign anything yet," she said. "Send me everything you have access to." Over the next 4 days, I pulled every file I could. I had administrative access to the firm's accounting software. Old habit. I was always the one who kept records. Invoices, contracts, wire transfers. I downloaded everything and sent it to Maya in an encrypted folder. She called me back on a Thursday evening. "There's a holding company," she said, "registered in Delaware. In the last 18 months, $4.2 million moved through it. The expenses are listed under strategic consulting. There are no contracts to match them." Is that unusual? It's irregular enough that a forensic audit would flag it immediately. I sat with that for a moment. Could it affect the valuation of my buyout? If the firm's books were manipulated to reduce apparent value before the buyout offer, she said carefully, then the offer you received may not reflect your actual equity. I ended the call and opened the envelope again. I looked at the check. $18 million. Then I called a lawyer, not the one his family had recommended, my own. I signed the divorce papers on a Friday. His mother was visibly relieved. She even touched my arm on the way out. "You're doing the right thing," she said. I smiled and said nothing. That same afternoon, my lawyer filed a motion to compel a full financial audit of the firm's records prior to the buyout agreement. Maya submitted a formal declaration as an expert witness. We had dates, account numbers, transfer records. I booked a flight to Portugal. I told no one the exact date. The morning I left, Daniel texted me, "Thank you for handling this so well. I always knew you were strong." I read it at the departure gate. I didn't reply. When I landed in Lisbon and turned off airplane mode, there were 11 missed calls. 2 from Daniel, 3 from his lawyer, 4 from his mother, 2 from a number I didn't recognize. I ordered an espresso at the airport cafe and opened my email. My lawyer had written, Motion accepted, audit ordered, firm's accounts under temporary review pending findings. I drank my coffee slowly. The audit took 3 months. What they found was significant enough that the original buyout offer was declared incomplete. The holding company transactions were reclassified. My actual equity was recalculated. They offered a revised settlement, an additional $9 million, formal dissolution of my obligations, complete release of any further claims on both sides. My lawyer reviewed every line. This time when I signed, I was sitting at a small wooden desk in a rented apartment in Porto. Afternoon light came through the shutters. I could hear people talking in the street below. My hands were steady. I later heard the firm lost 2 of its major clients during the audit period. Uncertainty, they said. Investors didn't like the optics. Daniel had to take on a partner to stabilize operations. His mother stopped messaging me after the settlement. I didn't post anything online. I didn't give interviews. I didn't tell this story to anyone who knew them. I just built something new. I started consulting independently, small clients at first, then larger ones. I work from wherever I want. Last month it was a cafe in Porto. Next month it will be somewhere else. People sometimes ask me if I'm angry. I'm not. Anger would mean I was still waiting for something from them. I'm not waiting for anything anymore. They thought the check was the end of the conversation. They were wrong. I just made sure the final word was mine, and I said it quietly through the proper channels, without a single post or headline. That's the part they never saw coming. If this story stayed with you, please like and subscribe. There are more stories like this one, stories about people who chose patience over noise and changed everything because of it. Thank you for being here.